Hey, y'all, you got Doug or Dougie Doo here with Cajun Soft Wash. I want to talk today. This is probably going to end up being a long video. I want to talk about the stages of your business, okay, and where you're at. Yesterday, I spoke with a friend of mine, and he said to me that the reason I became an entrepreneur the reason I started my business was to spend more time with my family, have more free time. And now that my business is growing, I'm finding that I have less time than I did when I had a job. Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong because you know who you are. Um, I got the impression that he was getting very, very tired in business. Okay. I also spoke with another person yesterday who's brand new to business, and trying to decide whether or not to make that leap of faith and go full time. The funny thing to me is that these two gentlemen are somewhat identical. Okay, in where they started. The first person has been out there probably getting about to be about 3 years now, right? I helped mentor him and get him started, and he has grown and he's doing very, very well. Um, the other, and let me back up. I think he was making pretty good money before he started in his business. And at the time, he was afraid to make that leap of faith. And we talked about that leap of faith and talked about how to get him to that point where he knows when it's time to make that leap of faith. And then the second person that I'm referring to yesterday, that was his question was, how do I know if it's time to make the leap of faith? He makes very good money. Okay, so how do I know if it's right to make that leap of faith? So I want to kind of go through the stages of business. Again, this is going to be a long video. I apologize. I think for me, in looking at it, how do I know if it's time to make that leap of faith? When you're just starting in business and you have your full time job and you're doing this on the side and it's weekend work and all that kind of thing, you can't really afford to quit your business. But you're working 7 days a week because you're doing your side bit. You can't afford to quit your job to grow your business, and you can't grow your business because you can't quit your job, and it's a constant battle back and forth. One of the things for me is if you build up some time off at your job, right, and you get a week or 2 weeks off, paid time off, whatever, personal time that you get to take that time. You've been in business a year, whatever, part time on the weekends. Now go ahead and try to book out a complete week, a complete 2 weeks, and just go crazy with making sure you get all those jobs done, right? That's going to help tell you whether or not you're ready. If you can get those jobs booked and you can get more, that are ready to book or whatever, you got phone calls coming in, you can't keep up on the weekends because you have so much coming in, it might be time to take that leap of faith. Be cognizant, be aware of when you're going to make that leap of faith. I saw somebody last year made that leap of faith just right before winter. I thought that was a bad decision. The reason being is because it's right before winter when things typically slow down. You shouldn't make that leap of faith in the wintertime. That's just my opinion. So make that leap of faith when you're going to be faced with good business. Okay, and then that way it'll help you save up for those leaner months. Um, as you grow in business, you're going to get to a point if you're doing good. Let me go this route too. Before I started this video, I did a little bit of research on what is the failure rate of businesses. The amazing part to me was that the failure rate is all over the board. In other words, this website says this, Forbes says that, the Bureau of Statistics says this, Labor Board says this. But one of the things that seems to stay constant is that between year 3 and 5, it's 50 to 80% of the businesses that fail, somewhere in that neighborhood. I see things that say in the first year 80%, the first year 30%, the first year 20%. The numbers are all over the board. But in that 3 to 5, it seems to be the 50 to 80 range, depending on which site you're looking at. I think a lot of that boils down to speculation on my part, but I think a lot of that boils down to stress. I can tell you being a business owner is extremely stressful, or can be extremely stressful sometimes, especially as your business grows and you get to that point where your phones are just ringing off the hook. You're out doing jobs every single day. You just can't seem to catch a breath because you're so busy. You're booking 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks out, right? One of the things that you absolutely need to do, it's an absolute must. There's two things I think you need to do. Two things to me that are an absolute must. Number one, you need to schedule time for your family. I know everybody's going to say, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. When we say we don't have time for that, it's the biggest excuse. I'm going to explain that here in a second. Same thing with we need to schedule time to be able to do our estimates, make our follow-up phone calls, things of that nature. I'm saying schedule time, schedule a day, or schedule a half day of working and a half day of scheduling, and another half day of working and another half day of scheduling if you don't want to do a full day, right? Because you need that time. Your phone's ringing off the hook. You got phones in each ear, and it's like this great big ball. Boom! It's going to explode, right? That's where I think that failure rate comes for a lot of people in that 3 to 5 years, is because it can get to be so stressful with the phones ringing off the hook and all these people asking, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's great. It means that your business is growing. I think the next part of that is that your phone's ringing so much, you're booked 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 weeks out, and you get upset with your customers for calling you. Oh, God, please stop. Oh, man, I just need a break, right? And then your attitude changes towards those customers. They start seeing it, and then they're like, well, maybe I'll go over here, okay? If you schedule that little bit of time to be able to do your estimates, and again, let's get into that argument again of I don't have time to schedule those estimate days. I don't have time to schedule time for my family. If you're booked 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks out, do you think another week is going to matter to those clients? They see the value in you. They see the value in your business, right? If they see the value in you and your business, another week isn't going to matter. Another 2 weeks isn't necessarily going to matter. I mean, I know at one point we were booking almost 4 months out. I was like, holy, I can't, there's no way people are going to accept that. And that's my fault as a business owner. I should have been hiring at that time and not having it 4 months out. But the amazing thing to me was that people were booking with us. They saw the value in what we were doing. So if you're booking 3, 6, 12 weeks out, people are going to book with you anyhow. They already see the value. The word is already out. They already know. So scheduling 1 day a week to make sure that you can get all your business taken care of correctly, so you're not stressed out. You're not trying to bounce off the walls every direction trying to figure things out. Schedule that day, okay? Same thing goes with your family. Schedule that day for your family and take the day off. Go mow the grass. Go, take your wife out to a movie or go out to dinner or whatever the case may be. Think about this. I think a lot of us, when we start in the business, what do we think of? We think of, I really want to make a better life for my family, right? I know for me, that's where I want to make a better life for my family. And as such, if I'm working 7 days a week and I have no time for my family, am I making a better life for my family? I'm really not. I'm missing out on those years that they're growing up and the things they're doing. And I think a lot of divorces happen based on, of course, today's society, but based on, the husband's not home and, whatever the case may be. So I think it's really, really important to schedule that time off for you and schedule time off for your family, but schedule that other day to be able to go do your estimates and take care of your clients. Okay. I think that's pretty much the end of my rant for today. I apologize for it getting to be quite long, but I think that's the growth of business. You get to a certain point, you want to explode, and it's almost a time where you want to quit. Okay. if you're getting to that point where you want to quit, it's because you're not scheduling that time for yourself. You're not scheduling that time for your family. You're not taking care of your clients correctly anymore, or whatever the case may be. So do that. Take care of business. Take care of you. Take care of your family. Those things, and I think that will help you grow in your business. Hey, again, I appreciate you all for listening to me, and Dougie, do out.